Hello ladies, blokes and non-binary folks, it's Ant here, and hopefully this video comes out fine. It's my first time using my new camera, which is hopefully better than the old Logitech webcam I've been using for years. That thing was annoying me. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to be using this at TF Nation, I think. I'm going to record some stuff, and that's what today's video is about. Not about me using the camera, it's about TF Nation. I thought I'd do like a two-part video. Well, I say two-part, it's one video, but there's two functions to it. One is just to talk about what to expect if you haven't been to TF Nation before, what I like about TF Nation, that sort of stuff. And the other half, I'm going to talk about what I'm going to be looking for at TF Nation, because, you know, at the end of the day, I think we can all agree TF Nation is about buying lots and lots of toys, or just a few toys. Even if you can only afford one toy, you might find the perfect toy for you. And I can give you some hints for how to find the perfect toy. It involves looking at them. First off, have you been to TF Nation before? Have you been to a convention before? I am a bit of a veteran of nerd conventions, especially the really rubbish ones. I started off, like the first convention I went to was Collectomania in Milton Keynes, which if you've ever been to Collectomania in Milton Keynes, it's in the MK1 Centre, which was, you know, Metropolis in Superman 4. And it is kind of rubbish. It's basically, I mean, it's not a big scale convention. It's like a market stall set up in the middle of the shopping centre. There's a few bits that spread out a little further around the shopping centre, but it was my first convention experience, and it was a chance to, like, you know, pick up goodies and stuff like that. I remember I got a Generation 1 cup at my first Collectomania, and I think it's where I got that, or what I thought was an alternator swindle, turns out to be a Binal Tech swindle. Got a bargain there, I think. I think I only paid like 10 quid for that. That was where I used to go. I used to go to London Film and Comic Con a lot, sometimes MCM. But over the years, I started hating those conventions. They're incredibly cramped, and they're full of horrible people. And some of them were like the people who would come into the Toys R Us shop I used to work at, and I knew how sort of kind of nightmarish they were there. And then you get them at a convention, and they just start barging into you, and they keep grabbing things in front of you. Not just the people who work at the Toys R Us I used to work at, but like just people in general. I hated the atmosphere of when you're trying to look at a table, and someone just like barges you out of the way to get to you. I am this type who will politely stand back, let a gap form, and then I'll move in to look at something. But apparently, that's not how other people roll. Also, the smell. The smell at London Film and Comic Con, Jesus. Actually, if you've ever been to a convention at the, I think it's the Royal Albert Hall Arena or something like that, there was one convention where there's always one corner of it that smelt like sick all the time. And horrible place. Anyway, TF Nation's not like that. TF Nation's great. It's in a nice hotel, the Metropole Hilton in Birmingham. I used to live up that way. I lived in Burton-on-Trent, but I rarely go to Birmingham because every time I went there I kind of stressed out a bit. But the actual Metropole Hilton itself is lovely. You don't have to stay there. You can stay at one of the many hotels that are in Birmingham. You know, you don't even have to stay there, but I recommend staying in a hotel if you're going to be travelling up there and everything. Just because the ability to go and pick up something and then put it away in your room is very helpful. Also, you know, if you tend to get anxiety and stressed out when there's crowds of people around, you can go just sit in the room, sit in the bar, sit outside. There's a lovely lake around the corner from the hotel. But I recommend that. This is why TFN's quite good, because it's a much more chill, like, convention. There's a convention hall you can go to and watch some talks. They've just put the schedule out the day I'm recording this. Some really good stuff coming up on there. I'm looking forward to the Triple Takeover one, and there's a More Than Meets the Eye thing where, Chris Carter and Chris McFeely and a bunch of other people have, like, sort of done like a special edition of the More Than Meets the Eye episode where they've like reanimated some parts of it to fix animation errors and like got new dialogue and deleted scenes and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to watch that. But you can just go and disappear to that convention hall at any time. It's pretty much on all day. There's like a couple of little breaks for lunch and stuff, but you can just go in and sit in there if the main hall gets too busy. But the main hall isn't as busy as like London Film and Comic Con and stuff. It's a bit more relaxed. And they've apparently got a new layout this year. That'll be interesting to see how that goes. I'm hoping it's not condensing things down too much, because one of the things I quite like with TFN is that there's a good, there's quite a big space between the tables, and there's plenty of room to mill around. There's enough room for people to look at the tables, enough room for people to walk between. all that sort of stuff. But yeah, when you get there, what to expect from the main hall? Well, you've got your artist alley section, which is kind of more of an artist block. It's generally like right in the middle of the hall. I don't know where it'll be this year. But you have like people like Zombie Workshop. Gav Spence will be there at the TM UK table. You can go there and see the Repugnus. Hang on. Not this Repugnus. This is my Repugnus. But you can meet the Repugnus at the TM UK table. I'm holding Gav to the idea that he has to bring Repugnus every year now. But you can go around, you can get stickers. There's a guy called Claude who does these amazing little cartoony stickers. I've seen some of the stickers he's got coming this year. There's a couple I kind of want. There's some keychains and stuff. He's got like keychains that have magnets in them, so they boom, pick together. It looks quite nice. It looks sweet. I know the Robosen are having a table there this year again. I didn't really look at that last year. I'm not too interested in those. They're a bit too, high budget for me. And even if I got one for free, I don't think I'd enjoy it. I've had these robot toys before and I use them like twice and get bored. But they're fun to look at on a demonstration level. Like, I did see them as I was walking by, and they do look like the sort of thing where you could stop and enjoy seeing them do their thing without paying 1,000 and some odd quid for one. But if you want to pay 1,000 and some odd quid for one, go for it. And if you're staying in the hotel, you can go put it in your room so no one can, mug you. No one's going to mug you at TFN. No one's going to mug you at TFN. But Artist Alley, good stuff. I picked up that. I've got a picture up here of Wild Will that Gav Spence drew. I've got one that I need to still get framed, which is the Last Bot Standing cover he did. I'm going to be picking up like the Thunder Clash comic from them this year. I've got that pre-ordered. There's all sorts of stuff you can get there. I want to get some stickers because I've got a new PC and I want to sticker it up. So I might get some stickers this year. Other than that, there's lots of toys to buy. There's a bunch of independent sellers there who I don't know by name or anything, but there's always one stall that sells loads of like Super Sentai and Kamen Rider and Tokusatsu stuff, which is great for me. I intend to buy something this year. Last year I didn't. I should this year. I need to get in there early and get one of the... get one of these. I love these. I want another one of these. Hold on. I love these things. I want to get another one of these this year. If anyone's selling ride watches, I want more. There's also a stall there that always has a bunch of Gundam model kits, and I think they usually have some of the figurized Kamen Rider kits. I want to get one of them as well. I'm in the mood for building a model kit recently. There's also Space Bridgebury there. They've got a shop down south. I have never been to the shop. I intend to go at some point, but it feels like a day trip. I want to spend some money. But last year when I was there, I got like the last of the double target masters I needed. I got Backstreet's fantastic. He can launch stuff like crazy. You put something on his guns and press the trigger, he's launching it across the room. Fantastic. It's deadly, that figure. But this year I'm going to look for some stuff. I'll talk about that later. There's also Kapow, In Demand. They have stuff that's not on their website as well. There's a lot more older figures on their tables than you might expect. There's usually one table somewhere around in the middle-ish area that has a bunch of third-party figures every year. There was one that had all sorts of really, like, I don't want to say bottom-of-the-barrel stuff, but, like, loads of knockoff toys and stuff like that. And they had that Postman Pat and the Fireman Sam Transformer last year, and I'm kicking myself for not buying one of them. I should get that. When are we going to get an official, collaborative Postman Pat van? I want that. But the main event, as far as shops go, and I'm a big shill for these guys, is the Toy Food table. They've got 16 tables this year. I think last year they had 14, so I think they've gotten bigger. I remember them saying last year they had like the full sort of width of the hall, but now apparently they've got the length of the hall. The Toy Food table is just full of gems. You have to keep going back to it because they're constantly restocking. A few recently put out a video where he was checking out Nick's stock. Nick runs Toy Food with a couple of other guys, and they've got thousands of toys this year. I think he said something like 6,000 figures available this year. And there's some loads and loads of carded G2, unsealed box G2 stuff. A bunch of custom animated figures. I want some new animated figures because the only one I've got is Bulkhead that I brought 2 years ago, and I need something else. I'm after Hot Rod. I'm getting to that later. But you want to go to the Toy Food table as much as possible. And like I said, don't worry about people barging into you. They're not going to barge into you. It's a good experience to just walk around, check stuff. People should hopefully be polite. Most of the time they are. I think I've had one or two people in the 2 years I've gone nudge. You know, it's cool. But other stuff to expect there. It's a friendly place. It's a cool place. It's a chill place. You can chat to people. I've met a bunch of people from Twitter while there. Last year I saw like That Toy Guy and Paper Plane and like a whole bunch of other people. Dr. Lockdown was there last year. For when he wasn't sick, he was there. And I kept seeing them, but I never actually went over and said hi because kids were coming up to them and saying hi to them. And I didn't want to, like, you know, take their time away from kids that wanted to see him, because for kids, this stuff's great. Kids getting free, by the way. That's great. That's a fantastic. That should be at all conventions, kids free. That's great, because you can take a kid with you. I'm not suggesting you just grab any kid. Take your kids. But, like, you take your kid with you, you give them, like, 10 quid. They go to the toy food table. They could pick up a whole bunch of little figures for, like, a tenner. You take their pocket money with them, give them a little bit of spending money, and they could pick up all sorts of gems from the toy food table for, like, pennies. Not pennies, but pounds. But, like, I got a, like, practically mint Alternators Ravage for 20 quid from their table. That thing's fantastic. It's probably the best condition loose figure I've ever brought. You can wander around. Sometimes you'll see, like, the guests walk in the hall. Like, last year when I was there, I got chatting to Jeremy Levy, the guy who voices Bumblebee, in the hallway. I've never done that at London Film and Comic Con. The closest I've ever had was the time David Hasselhoff walked past me, or the time David Tennant walked past me on the way to the toilets. A lot of Daves walking past me. Talk to people when you're there. If you see Sixo, bother him. You'd have to, like, be wary. You're going to have to crane your neck up a bit. He is, like, 7 to 8 foot tall, but just do it slowly and you won't injure your neck. It'll be fine. Make eye contact with Liam. It will challenge him to a fight instantly. He prefers Street Fighter rules. A Hadouken or a Hurricane Kick will take him out quickly. Is Liam going to hate that? He's going to hate that. Obviously, don't make eye contact with Gav Spence. We all know what happens when you do that. But honestly, just chat to people. You can have a good chat with people. If they're working on the tables, don't take up too much of their time. But, you know, a lot of those guys are very open and friendly. There's a couple of YouTuber guys there I know are there, and I don't know what they're like in terms of chatting. There's a guy called Toys R Russ who does some good videos, and I've seen him go around. He's very YouTuber. He interviews the people at the tables and stuff like that, but he seems very community focused. I might try and have a chat with him this year. I've never chatted to him before, but he seems like a cool dude. He's got like multiple G1 Raidens. Unfair. I've got one Masterpiece one that barely stands. It needs a flight stand constantly. But like I say, the main thing to expect from TF Nation is that it's a fun, chill, welcoming thing. It's super LGBTQ friendly. If anyone causes any problems, you talk to Dave Wallace or Billy Stripes. Billy Stripes will have stripy sleeves on. You'll recognise him. Dave Wallace is like the guy who does most of the comparing for the convention conferences and stuff. Talk to any of the helpers from TF Nation. They got t-shirts on to let you know who they are, and they'll set you right and sort out making sure that person's not a problem. Have a word with them and all that sort of stuff. So it's a friendly atmosphere. Do not be afraid if you're used to being targeted by jerks. Like, TFN's a friendly place. I've honestly not encountered any horribleness at TFN. I know last year someone apparently stole some figures from a stall or stole some money or something. And I think the year before that there was a guy who got way too much stuff signed. But as far as I can tell, that's like the worst that ever comes out of it. It's a much nicer place. Whereas I've been to London Film and Comic Con and seen people arguing with each other over who's getting something that's on a table and stuff. They need to grow up. It's a great experience. Is that enough welcoming package? Is that enough information? There's a Five Guys around the corner. It's good. If you need food, bring lots of money. The food in the hotel is very expensive. Sandwiches were like £5 something last year. But you can just go and sit in the bar and have a chat with people. It's a good event. They got a table football in the bar. I went and did a hat pick with them last year. Speaking of hat picks, if you need to find me around TFN, if you want to spot me, I'll be carrying Wild Will with me. If you want a hat pick with Wild Will, even if I've done the pick on the chat on the Twitter before, just ask if you want it on your figure. You could have a Wild World hat pick on your figure. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to have one to give away at TFN yet. I want to give something away. These are getting harder to find boxed. So, shall we talk about what I'll be looking for at TFN? I'll be looking for you. I'll be looking for toys. It's a shock. I mentioned earlier after some animated figures. I've only got one, which is the leader class bulkhead, which is a fantastic figure. Although the headmaster thing's stopped activating the voice on it, which sucks. But I'm looking for animated hot rod primarily. It's not like that has to be the animated figure I get, but if I can get that one, that is perfect. Any variation of it. There's a nice Takara one, so I'm going to be looking for animated hot rod. If not, I'm going to pick up another animated figure, because I need some animated figures. I really want the Swindle, but every time I see anyone post a picture of animated Swindle, it seems like immediately after they've taken some photos, his arm falls off, which is funny and sad at the same time. I mentioned this in my Optimus Prime MP10 review, but I'm going to be looking for double target masters, specifically Needle Nose and Spinister. As far as I can tell through eBay listings and other listings online and looking out for people selling their G1 collections and stuff like that, for some reason Spinister and Needle Nose are the ones that are always in the worst condition, and they're always Needle Nose is almost always yellow. I want one that's at least mostly grey. I'm not too worried about discoloration usually on figures, but only when it gets to the point where it really looks horrible. That's when last year I had a Victory Saber in my hands, a G1 one, and it was like I was tempted to buy it. It was affordable, but he was like cigarette smoke yellow, so I was like nah. But so far I've got Quake and Quick Mix. If I can get Spinister and Needle Nose at TF Nation, the last two are dead easy to get, like Scoop and who's the other one? Landfill. Scoop and Landfill are dead easy to get hold of complete, so I can get hold of them. I will be going by the toy food table to check out some of the customs. You alright, Spider-Man? I knocked over Spider-Man. I will be going by the toy food table to get some of the customs that Matt does. He's got a Instagram page called Rock Lords Rock, which I don't look at because I don't have Instagram. If you ever see a Wild Wheels Hat Instagram channel, it's not me. Anyway, I got these last year. Didn't pay for them. I didn't steal them. This was like a freebie when you bought something at the TM UK table. It's like a little Superion, and there was a raffle draw to win one of his like really flashy customs. But I got like a runners-up prize, which was like this oversized Superion in blue. I got two of them. I'd already left the convention by the time I found out I had won this. I didn't know that when the winners were being announced or anything. I'm going to try and actually get a figure this year. Last year I had my eye set on one of the Cosmoses. Oh, stand up, buddy. There you go. Last year I had my eye set on one of the custom Cosmoses he had made, but they disappeared in seconds. Like I know Mellow Shade, you'll see him around the convention. He's really tall. Another tall one. We got a lot of Titan class Transformer fans around. But Mellow Shade brought the purple one, the Vimto one that I wanted that, but that's cool. You have to get there quick. By the time I got in at the start and I picked up my taco tank, I went straight for the taco tank first thing. It was gone. So this year I want to try and get something. I'm just going to get one of his customs. He does loads of Rock Lord customs and stuff like that, so I'm into Rock Lords this year. Like I've picked up both of these lads and they're fantastic. And I think I might try and get all the deluxes of these that they do. Where's a Voyager one? Why isn't there a Voyager one? Anyway, these guys are great. I'm getting so many figures on my table here. What else am I going to be looking for? Related to Wild Wheel, there's one other Wild Wheel figure. It's a tiny Turbo Changer's Wild Wheel, and I cannot get one for a decent price anywhere. I'm going to be searching through every single box under the tables to try and find one of them, because there's usually some of the tables will have boxes full of what tiny turbo changers and bots and stuff like that. I need that tiny turbo changer Wild Wheel. I'm not paying 40 quid for one from America, plus like 30 quid shipping to get one. I will pay over the odds for one, but it is silly that I do not have both Wild Wheel figures that are available. So I'm aiming for that. I've made sure I've got a bit of spare money to treat myself to something a bit rarer, but there's a good chance what I'm going to end up with is loads of random toys. That's usually what I end up with. Another one I'm trying to look out for is the Core Class Thundercracker from Legacy. Last year I bumped into someone, I don't know if it's someone I know, I think it might have been, I might know him from Twitter, I don't know. But he said to me, oh, they're selling it over at In Demand's tables. And I was like, I don't want to buy a new figure when I'm at the convention. That seems silly. Now it seems silly that I didn't buy it because that core class Thundercracker like evaporated into the ether. That keeps happening. I'm hoping it's not going to happen to Studio Series Swoop because he seems to be getting difficult to get hold of already. I've had a notification on In Demand's website for weeks now to notify me when he's back in, and they haven't had it. I imagine I'll be able to pick one up at TFN. That might be the one I go, yes, I'm buying that one new figure. Try not to, but I need that last Studio Series Dinobot. I've got all the others. That's pretty much all I'm going to be looking for, though. If I can get animated Hot Rod, that ticks off the box as well where I want to get a Hot Rod. I want to get a Hot Rod every year I go there because I love me Hot Rods. I've got loads of them. I've got more Optimus Primes now. I've brought 5 Optimus Primes this year. I've got another one on pre-order. I'm probably going to buy at least 2 more. Yeah, I'm going to try and get a Hot Rod, ideally an animated Hot Rod. That's the plan. I'm also going to try and get, is it Exilion? Is that what he's called? In Transformers Cybertron? I don't know the Unicorn trilogy as well as I should. I did watch it. I can remember none of it. I know Downshift. Downshift's awesome. I've got, the green and black muscle car one. He's great. I've got a few Armada toys, and they're all fantastic. But I'm going to try and get that Exilion if I can. I think he's called Hot Rod in some places, or Rodimus. But I know him as Exilion. I think that's the name it's on TF Wiki. But yeah, I'm going to look for them as well. I'm not going to look so much for G1 toys this year, I don't think, unless there's something really sweet. I usually pick up a Spy Changer. Toy Food Table usually has a whole bunch of them out. Like, I picked up one each year. They're nice little figures to get hold of. I usually try and pick up a bunch of little pocket money, really silly little toys, because they're fun to pick up. You can find all sorts of random stuff like that every year. I think that's what I'm looking for this year, just that. I do have my collecting goals in mind as well, though. I've got the Masterpiece figure. I talked about that last time. The other collecting goal was the Double Target Masters. The other one, the third one, is a modern Diaclone figure. So that's also on the agenda, but that might be something I buy after TFN when I'm not saving money for TFN. Because those modern Diaclone figures, they're amazing, but they are expensive. But I think that's it. I'm looking for Toku stuff, looking for a custom figure from Matt, looking for Double Target Masters, looking for a Hot Rod or an animated Hot Rod or just an animated figure in general. And I think that's mostly it. I'm very tempted by those G2 figures Toy Fu have. There's also a thing they've got called Gradion, which is like a robot that transforms into a train and you plug it into your TV and it's like a TV game console. That sounds amazing. That's probably expensive. Someone should keep an eye out for that and get that, not me. Someone with more money. That's mostly what I think I'm going to be looking for at TFN this year. Obviously, if you see me, say hi. I don't mind. I'll chat. I'm approachable, I think. But yeah, just approach me. I won't bite your head off. Unless you're, a bigot. If you, like I said earlier, if you want a picture of whatever toy you brought with Wild Will's hat on, just stop me. We'll find a space to do it. Snap a photo. I'll put it up straight away. You can help me come up with what the tweet will be if you like. I don't mind. As long as you don't bring a million figures out. Like, pick which one you want. Done. We did a bunch last year. There was, I don't think I've got them backed up, actually. But there was a guy walking around the bar with Nemesis, Titan class Nemesis and the Ark. And I got a picture of the Ark one. I didn't do the Nemesis. The Nemesis wasn't transformed, that's why. But the Ark, he didn't have the Ark transformed, but you could pop open the top of that and get the head out really easily, so popped it straight on. But yeah, there was a couple of people I did little pics with their figures. One of the guys that J Space 10 J on Twitter, one of his mates that was there. I can't remember their names. I'm really bad. One of their mates had Legacy Armada Megatron, so I got that pic. I need to find them and post them on Blue Sky. I'm pretty sure I didn't back them up. Thanks for watching. Sorry this rambling mess. It's almost half an hour long. I have to edit this down, trim out my more ridiculous ramblings. I'll see you at TFN. I'm going to have more. You can't see it. I've got a Devastator here, and every year I put my TFN wristbands on him. It's starting to look like he's got like a scarf around his head, which makes him look like an old lady. But this year I'm doing Friday night, Saturday, and ClubCon. I didn't do ClubCon last year. I'm thinking next year I might do the Sunday as well, because it wouldn't be too hard to get back from there in the evening. I would have to carry my bags around all day though, unless I stayed an extra day. TFN, it's in a couple of days, weeks, who knows how long. I don't know how long it's going to take me to edit this. It's soon. and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Cheers for watching the MP10 video if you did. That got like 100 views in a couple of days. That was quite nice to see. And I'll catch you at TFN. Yeah, that was the point in the video. Anyway, if I look off camera, it's because my new camera has a flip out screen and I keep checking it because it keeps flickering squares on my face. I don't know. I think that's autofocus, isn't it? I don't know exactly what it all means. I'm not, I don't know how to use cameras. Anyway, bye.